Hey everyone on YouTube, my name's Jack and I got a question for you. Are you guilty of an 80-20 closet? I'm sure you've heard it before on websites and blogs, but it's commonly said that we wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. And I became quite curious about this months and months ago, and I spent a lot of time looking for data to prove that we wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. And guess what? I found nothing. So I decided to test it on myself, and well, what did I do? I took all of my clothes and I put it on the table and I itemized it and I threw it into an Excel spreadsheet and I added some formulas and I just started calculating and tracking my clothes usage every single day to find out what my actual 80-20 number was. And I found out I had 96 articles of clothes, and 20% of that is 19 articles when you round it, and I just started tracking. Now, you may be noticing that I'm wearing something a little bit different today. I'm wearing a robe, and it's not just to show off my chest muscles from all the push-ups I've been doing. It's because this was a birthday gift I got during the 7th month of my 80-20 challenge. I love it, I'm super grateful for it. And in order to make sure that all of my numbers balanced out and that I had consistency from month to month, I threw out a pair of socks that I had not used once, 0 times, during the last 6.5, 7 months. So now all of my numbers are balanced and consistent throughout the entire experiment. And I love my robe, I wear it a lot. As you'll see if you look at the data on my Excel spreadsheet, XXXXX, lots of robe usage there. Now, after 7 months, what did I find out? Well, I found out that I wear 20% of my clothes 60.55% of the time. So my 80-20 number is actually 60-20. And this is interesting because at the end of month 6, I was at about 60%, and at the end of month 5, I was at about 60%, and at the end of month 4, I was at about 60%. So I'm seeing a trend here that I wear 20% of my clothes about 60% of the time. It's not changing that much anymore, and that's kind of to be expected. Over the long term, things tend to average out and stabilize. So we'll see what happens in the last 5 months. But right now, I wear 20% of my clothes 60% of the time. Also interesting to see is that in the short term, on strictly a month by month basis, my 80-20 number was much higher. Right now it's sitting at 71.58%, or about 72%. And that's a really disproportionately frequent amount of time to be wearing the same 19 things over the course of a month. And in this particular case, it's winter, right? So I'm wearing the same winter jacket and sweaters and the same pants and basically cold weather things over and over and over again. Not to mention my gym clothes, which I wear regularly over and over again. And of course my new robe. So that number has gone up quite a bit. Whereas in other months, maybe I wouldn't be wearing sweaters and jackets. Maybe I would be wearing shorts and t-shirts and flip-flops. So on a month-by-month basis, yes, maybe we do wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. However, in the long term, over the course of an entire year and 4 seasons and all the different weathers and all of the clothes that you may possibly wear in your wardrobe, I suspect that that number will be lower relative to you. Now, I took it a step further, and I wanted to figure out what I would need to do to get my personal wardrobe and clothes usage to 80-20. And I found out that there's 2 different ways to get to that 80% number. The first is that I currently wear 38% of my clothes 80% of the time. So about 40% of my clothes 80% of the time. I also crunched the numbers and I found out that in order for that 20% of what I currently wear, I also crunched the numbers and I found out that in order to get my number to 80-20, I would need to add an additional 92 articles of clothing to my wardrobe to get my current clothes usage of exactly what I'm wearing right now to 80-20. And that's a total of 189 articles in my wardrobe. I currently have 96. So that's a lot of extra clothes for me to be wearing 80-20. And while it may seem like a lot, there very well could be people out there who have wardrobes packed with clothes, old t-shirts, sweaters, pants, you name it, that they just never wear. And you know what? There could be some people out there who have 80-20 wardrobes. You never know. Now, what does all of this mean? Well, to me, it goes to show that no matter who you are, I'm willing to bet that you already have all of the clothes that you need for an entire year, winter, spring, summer, and fall, in your wardrobe already, and that even if you got new clothes, you would probably fall back on your same favorites over and over and over again. And my hope with all of this is to show that you don't necessarily need to go out and spend more money on clothes. You can use that money and invest it in yourself in other ways. Get a gym membership, do some traveling, go swimming, buy some books, invest in some higher quality food for proper nutrition and feeling good and healthy all of the time. And you probably don't need to spend more money on clothes because I bet you already have everything you need right now. So that's my 7-month update. I hope you enjoyed it. I have 5 more months to go, and if you're curious to know how all of this concludes, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and be the first person to get my monthly updates as I publish them. Thanks for following my progress, thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you again in the next update video. Bye for now.